An honour. I think any chance you get to represent your country on a world stage is an absolute honour, so I think it's super exciting, but yeah, I think really looking forward to it.
Hey, and just talk to us about sort of your past experiences at sort of under-17s World Cups. How has that prepared you now for the step up that is the under-20s?
Yeah, so obviously we went to 17s World Cup a couple of years ago, and I think 20s is a big step up from 17s, but I think having the experience of 17s and getting to verse the bigger nations has really helped us in this, and I think it's helped a lot of the girls for this upcoming 20s World Cup.
Big names, Japan, USA, Italy. How big of a challenge is that, and what's your mindset going into those games?
Yeah, we've got quite a tough group, obviously, so I think trying to come up against those big nations is going to be pretty tough, but I think just playing our way, and we obviously had a good Oz tour, so I think we came out of that really positive, so I think coming into this World Cup will also be very positive.
And now, obviously, you're a centre-back. You started life earlier as a midfielder. Can you talk to us about that transition and changing position, how that's been for you?
It was really tough to start with, but I think I've definitely gotten used to it. It was a bit of a challenge to start with, but I think centre-back is where I belong now. I think it's definitely my position, and I really enjoy it.
What were some of those challenges? Like, what made it tough?
Centre-back is completely different to any other position. It's a lot more defensive than being a midfielder, so I think just learning to deal with that, and yeah, I think I've done pretty well at it, but I think, yeah, it's just been pretty tough to start with.
Hey, and massive Wellington Phoenix contingent in the squad. Is that helpful? Is that good that you guys sort of know each other and already have those connections?
100%. Having those connections already on the pitch and off the pitch is super cool. I think obviously building connections with everyone else, but having close connections with everybody else to start with is a big help coming into this World Cup.
What does it mean to you to be named an under-20s World Cup squad?
I think it's a massive privilege. Like, anyone in the world, especially young New Zealanders coming through, would want to be in the squad, and I think the amount of work you put in behind the scenes really shows that it does pay off in the time being. I think it's hard. You're always going to go through hard parts of it, but the more you work through, and the harder days are for the better days.
Yeah. How do you feel like your football's going? You seem to be going up and up and up every sort of few months, new challenges, you're taking them with both hands. How are you feeling about your football?
I'm loving it. Like, I think the journey is getting more and more interesting, more and more fun. I think you got to have the passion to get to the places, and I think very privileged to have the amazing coaches that I work with day in, day out. Especially the goalkeeper coaches at the Phoenix are very, very cool.
Yeah. Hey, and you got a Ferns call up not too long ago. What was that experience like, and what did you learn in that environment?
I think it was amazing. I feel like every time you always look to get into that stage, I feel like it's a privilege to be there. You learn a lot, especially going from, I guess, age group up to the full-time women's. It's pretty cool. And also the people you meet along the way. The coaches are outstanding, the amount of work they do behind the scenes, and huge credit to Vic and Alina. They were pretty cool to work with.
Some pretty impressive opposition you guys are coming up against: Japan, USA, Italy. How big a challenge is that, and what's your mindset? What's the team's mindset going into those games?
I think it's a huge challenge, but like, we look at it, we can either look at it and be scared of it, or we look at it and look forward to it and be excited to take on, especially Japan. They're a powerhouse, especially USA as well. Any team will want to play them, and I think we're very privileged to be able to have the opportunity to play against them. And
just lastly, a lot of Wellington Phoenix teammates in the squad. What does that mean to have those connections and that familiarity in a squad that's going away to somewhere like Holland?
I think it's awesome, mate. The amount of people you work with day in, day out to actually be in the national team squad with you is pretty cool. To be able to, you know their strengths, you know their abilities, what they can do on and off the field, I think it's pretty cool. I'm very lucky to have the same group we work with day in, day out, especially in the national team.